Welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Michelle Dillon, and I just wanted to tune in and give you some tips and to get through this time. We need to have some healthy immune support because these times are interesting. Everybody's dealing with it in a different way. Something you should ask yourself is, how are you coping with everything? Everybody copes a little bit differently. Some are healthy ways, others are not. I think asking yourself, how are you coping and what are you doing to cope? I have to admit that I've had my days. Some days are better than and easier than others. Yoga has been really helpful for me. Just 10 minutes of yoga, deep breathing and prayer has worked wonders. Going for walks around the block, jumping on the trampoline with my kids. But if you're reaching too much for the alcohol, if you find yourself eating all the time, if you find yourself just ruminating and having a lot of anxiety and not dealing with it in a healthy way, then I hope this webinar is helpful for you. Just to give you some helpful tips and ways that you can help deal with all of this emotion and all of this unknown as to where it's all going. Because every day you read the news and nobody really tells you what's in the future because nobody knows. So a lot of top people in health these days are saying that due to this isolation and quarantine, we're going to have a very high increase in obesity, heart disease, and diabetes because people are home. And when you're home, some people just have a tendency to start eating a lot more than not. So just something to keep in mind during this. So what to do about it, I hope to give you some tips by the end of this webinar. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Michelle Dillon with Charlotte Natural Wellness. I've been in this year happy to report that at 13 years in practice with Charlotte Natural Wellness, and we finally have reached 100 5-star reviews on Google. I like to say our tagline is helping tired moms since 2007. You could see that here's my family and my husband and my kids. So a wife, mom, a doctor, and here for you to get you through this time. So ways to improve your immune system. Here are a few. Avoid sugar. Did you know one teaspoon, one tiny little teaspoon of sugar can lower your immune system for up to 5 hours. So there's little phagocytes, they're little Pac-Man little guys in your immune system, and they kind of go to sleep for 5 hours after you've had only a teaspoon of sugar. A typical American has like 100 grams of sugar a day. A typical can of Coke has about 40 grams of sugar. So if you're consuming a lot of soda, consuming candy, you're naturally depleting your immune system. So the more that you can eat healthy, vibrant, colorful foods that come from nature, the healthier you'll be. And really, while we're in this quarantine and self-isolation, it's really important to increase self-care and give yourself grace with all that's going on. Every day, I think there's different emotions that we're all going through. So I think it's helpful. It's really helpful to get a journal and start journaling. Talk to a friend, FaceTime a friend, even better, would be helpful. Make sure you're getting a lot of sleep. More people are getting more sleep because there's nothing else to do. And I think that's really helpful. But if you're having a hard time sleeping, then finding the root cause of that sleep issue is super important as well. Drinking enough water. If your mucous membranes in your nose and your mouth are dried up because you're not drinking enough water, then that, when you do have exposure to any bacteria or virus, it actually will not get stuck in the mucus inside your nose and your mouth. And so that can make you more susceptible to getting sick. So it's really important to drink your water. Some days I know it's easier than others to drink, but sometimes if you try to have a drink of water before each meal, that not only keeps you hydrated, but it also helps lower your hunger. And then we could talk a little bit about supplements. All of these things are obviously logical. It's just whether or not you're able to get yourself to do them, right? Other things that are easier, get off social media, limit your time on social media, especially if you're seeing a lot of negative things. Don't watch the news all day. and just laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughter actually increases your immune system and helps you feel good. So start watching things that make you laugh, not stress you out and make you cry. That's better. And time to eat healthy and stay healthy, because you truly are what you eat. Everything that you eat assimilates into your body and becomes the cells that you are. So you don't want to be made up of Twinkies or junk food. You want to be made of something that's healthy and vibrant to start with, because all of that food is going to become your part of your body. And I know that when you're stressed, you tend to gravitate towards junk food, and you got to just put a stop to that and aim to eat something green with each meal, aim to eat a vegetable or two with each meal, and go from there. Just give yourself grace and give yourself one step at a time. Make realistic goals. I think through this, community is really important. So if you can find a community where you can meet, that's helpful, and then you can keep each other accountable, because that will help fight your emotional eating. Instead of eating something, maybe go for a walk, drink a glass of water, wash your face, take a shower, go outside and just stare at the trees, because it's called forest bathing, how it's translated from the Chinese research. Forest bathing is something where you go out in nature and you look at the green trees, and that actually is proven effective at lowering your stress levels and lowering cortisol levels. Also, other ways is tell somebody. Just tell somebody to keep you accountable. Start writing down what you eat, just making a food journal and how you feel with each meal. And then that's helpful too. There's some free apps called MyFitnessPal, Neutrino. There's a whole bunch of free apps that you can use to help record what you're eating, and it will tell you if you have an ideal weight goal. You just enter in your food, and it will tell you, oh, continue to eat this way, and you'll lose X amount of pounds in X amount of weeks. But I want to offer you something that how I can help, putting together a group. I like to call it the Healthy Immune Support Group, or his support group. I believe that God's all here to support us, and I thought his support group is kind of cool. Some of you may not be spiritual or Christian or whatever you want to call it, but I am. And I believe that he's there to help us and get us through all this craziness. So I thought that was kind of a fun name for the group. So what I want to do is have you guys join, and we can meet in a live webinar format. So instead of just seeing my face, if you have a smartphone of any sort, you can use your camera on your phone, and then we can all talk at the same time. You can check in for community and accountability. Once I have your email, I can send you a free link for a free app that you could put on your phone, and it will give you daily reminders to drink your water, and a way to record your foods if you'd like. It sends you tips and reminders through a text message. And then through that app, there's 3 different videos that are very helpful in how to read labels, what to look for on a label, ways to naturally boost your immune system, and ways to improve your energy. So, as well as there is some healthy meal plans, shopping lists, basic immune supportive suggestions. So if you're interested, and I hope you are, feel free to send me an email, Dr. Dillon at charlottenaturalwellness.com, and with your name and your phone number, then I can send you a link to join the group. If you're more interested in meeting with me one-on-one, we can talk about that as well. So just give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to help. You guys take care.